Hello everybody, welcome back to the Escentual Owl. Erin here to make another soap. This is actually going to be a remake of a soap that I have made previously, and it is almost gone. So I have none left, or I have very little left for the show that I have in December. So I'm going to be making a little bit more of that today. Also, a face reveal that nobody asked for. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Escentual Owl. Here today making my Jingle Bells soap. This was actually made a couple of months ago and most of it has sold out. So I have almost none left for my show in December. My sister helped me design and name this soap as well as picking the fragrance for it, and it has just done really well, and it's a pretty great soap. So, as I said, this is a remake, and this is what the soap looked like. It's red with a gold swirl, and it has gold dusted on top. Gold mica dusted on top. Sorry, I'm trying to make it focus here. Focus, come on. Well, either way, last time I made this soap, you can see there's a couple of little air bubbles here and there and stuff like that. And it's not awful, but the batter accelerated on me. I think it was the fragrance that I used. But, I don't know, it might not have been the fragrance. I'm not sure what else it would have been, but this is what we're going for, just maybe a little bit better. So, I've got all of my supplies here. I need very minimal stuff for the soap. It's not super complicated as far as the design. The majority of the soap is made with really red mica. And come on, camera focus for me here. There we go. Okay, so this is the base, really red mica. And I know I've shown you all this before, but I'll show you again. Very, very, very red. This is the best red ever. Also, we'll be using this shimmer gold mica. And it's just a very pretty light gold color. This is the fragrance that I use for this soap. Applejack Peel from Brambleberry. This smells so good. It smells just like apple cider or a fresh baked apple pie, just spiced apple. And it is so good. And I'm sorry, you can hear my dog yipping out there in the background. He's upset that he is out there by himself. But I've got my lye water here ready to go. I'm actually going to have to strain my lye water this time. I had some lye lint, and I usually don't strain the lye lint out, but it's pretty bad this time, so I just want to make sure that I don't have any giant clumps of lye that didn't dissolve or anything like that. So I'm going to be straining it just to be safe. So let me get my glasses on here. Right, let's get this started. I've already got my fragrance oil in my base oils here. Let me see what's going to be the easiest way to do this. I guess I could just, yeah, there we go. think that's about as thick as I'm going to do my trace, just because last time I made this soap it accelerated on me, even though the fragrance says it behaves well in cold processed soap. So I'm not really sure why it accelerated on me last time. The only explanation that I have is the fragrance, because that's the only thing different about this soap recipe. And that's not a bad thing, it's just, you know, something to be aware of. Yeah, that's not too bad of a trace. Oops, I just flung soap batter everywhere. Alright, what I'm going to do now is separate out just a little bit for the gold swirl. Because as you saw on the original bar, there is not much of a swirl there at all. And I want to keep as close to the original design as possible. I'm going to wipe off my glove here. I've got some soap batter on me. Alright, so this will be the red, and it is thickening up quite a bit. So I am going to blame the fragrance for that. And that's not a problem. I can still work with it. It's just something to be aware of. So what I will probably do is a hanger swirl if I can find my tool. Here we go. Here is, it's been in a drawer, so it's a little bit bent out of shape, but that's okay. It bends right back. So make sure my size is good here. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and, wow, this is so thick. Yeah. It also doesn't help that I did a little bit more of a water discount this time than I usually do, which is saying something, because I usually do a pretty, not a super steep water discount, but it's fairly steep. Oops. I should have got my gold out first, because now I got red all over my spoon. That's okay. So I'm moving kind of fast here because this has accelerated quite a bit, and I just want to make absolutely sure that it doesn't completely set up on me before I can get it into the mold. And that might be the case. This is like thick pudding. Oops. And mic is going everywhere. Wow. This is just a day. This is what happens when I get into a rush. fellow soapers out there, if you have not used Applejack peel from Brambleberry, it may accelerate even though it says it behaves well. But it is a very, very nice fragrance. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do as far as mixing this. The more I mix it, the thicker it's going to get. Okay, let me clean up my workspace here a little bit before I get started. Okay, so let me get this into a good position for you all. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to pour a good bit of red down in the bottom. Wow, that is so thick. Look at me, I'm making messes everywhere. Not known for being organized and whatnot. I'm going to shake this a little bit just to make sure it's pretty even down in there. And now for my gold. It's so thick. It's not even really going to be a pour. It's going to be more like a plop, I think. Yep. Wow, it's so thick. Okay, let's go in with a little more red on top of that. I hope you all can see what I'm doing. That would be pretty tragic to go back and start editing this and realize, hey, couldn't see a dang thing I was doing. Okay, now I'm going to scrape out this container and plop the rest of the gold in here because I only want red on the top. It wouldn't be awful if I had a little bit of gold peeking through the top, but again, I'm just trying to stick to the original design of this soap. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of spread this around a little. It's so thick that I'm not sure that tamping it down is really going to help it that much. Okay, I'm going to clean up these edges just a little. Oops, I poked through that paper towel. Okay, now I'm going to cover the rest of the soap, or the top of the soap, all of this gold, with red, and then I'll go in with my hanger tool to do the swirl. And this soap is, I guess it's technically a high top soap. It definitely is for me. So whatever is left after I cover up this gold out of the red batter is what gets mounted on top and texturized. And then gold mica gets dusted on top. Even though this soap is probably the most troublesome soap that I make, it's definitely one of my favorites. And this is seasonal soap, so if you want this soap, please go and get it now. Because it has been selling pretty fast and it's seasonal, so I don't make it all the time. I only make it for the winter holidays. So get it while you can. I put my Etsy link down in the description of every video if you are interested in buying a bar of this soap. Alright, so now I'm going to put my hanger in here. I'm going to try to do this in a way that you all can see. Let's do it from this way. So I'm just going to go, I don't have a particular plan for how I want the swirl to go. I'm going to go in, up, in, up. And it's so thick that you don't get much of a swirl anyway. There we go. I'm going to bang this down on the floor because I don't want to bang it on the table and move that camera all over the place. I got that all banged down. So this is what we have right now. And I did see quite a few air bubbles pop, so I hope I got all of them, or at least a majority of them. Now it's time to build up our top, which basically just means I'm going to plop the remainder of my red batter on top, and then I'll go back in, texturize it a little bit, and then we'll get started with sprinkling that gold mica on top. So that is our texturized top. And that red, with my last batch, it calmed down quite a bit. This soap is one that gels on me, and it heated up on me last time. So I'm expecting it to do it again this time, but it doesn't really change or ruin the overall effect. So I'm not mad about it. Let me get one of my shakers here. Okay, so I'm just gonna fill this up. Not really fill it up, but just put a little bit of this gold mica down into the shaker. I don't usually do a whole lot of mica dusting, so whatever I end up with left over after I sprinkle this on will go right back into my mica jar. So now I'm just going to sprinkle some of this on top. And this does get a pretty nice dusting of mica on top. So, kind of just let myself go a little bit crazy with it. Okay, there we have it. There is the finished Jingle Bells soap. Very shimmery and very red. It smells very nice. I love this soap so much. Yet I do see where I have a little bit of an air bubble there. I'm going to see if I can fix that. There we go. There. Now, that's as much as I'm going to do to it. If I mess with it much more, I don't know what's going to happen to it. This soap is pretty finicky. Like I said, it accelerates. It does heat up quite a bit. I can already, just touching the mold, I can feel how warm it is. But it comes out a super nice soap. It's very pretty, very festive. So I'm not mad about it. So let's bring you in for a close-up. So this is what we end up with. And I know it just kind of looks yellow on the camera, but this gold is so nice. So that is all that I have for you all today. This is the Jingle Bells soap. I will bring you all back for the cut.